Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to 90 Day Fiancé latest news. When Veronica Rodriguez, one of the franchise's most popular performers, posted something on Instagram that no one saw coming yesterday, the 90 Day Fiancé world went crazy. A single snapshot, simple yet deep, set the internet on fire. Veronica holding a baby bulge and holding hands with her fiancé, now husband Seth Daryoushfar. Within minutes, the picture went viral, fans flooded in with well wishes, and news sites rushed to validate what had just been revealed. Veronica is not only pregnant, but she also secretly married Seth a few days ago. The picture that started it all was stunning in its peaceful beauty. Veronica wore a flowing cream-colored dress, and her hair delicately framed her face as she put one hand on the curve of her tummy. Seth stood next to her with pride, holding her hand and placing his other hand protectively on her shoulder. The courtyard was rustic but cozy, like a real-life moment between two individuals in love instead of a contrived celebrity announcement. New beginnings, new chapters, and the biggest blessing of all was a short but powerful caption. Baby Daryoushfar is coming shortly. Fans who had watched Veronica's lengthy and winding journey through 90 Day Fiancé and its spin-offs could not believe what they saw. This was the same Veronica who had to deal with embarrassing situations with Tim Malcolm after they broke up, went on the single life to find a date, and regularly talked about how hard it was to be a single mother. And now she was here, pregnant, married, and starting a whole new chapter in her life. The comments below the post showed how shocked the fans were. Some people were just happy. She deserves all the happiness in the world, congratulations Veronica. While others were still trying to figure out how fast it all was. Didn't we just watch her on TV trying to figure out her love life? And now she's getting married and having a baby? The mix of astonishment and celebration only made the post more popular, and it traveled quickly to fan groups, entertainment websites, and mainstream news sites. By nightfall, newspapers confirmed what the picture showed. Veronica was expecting, and her fiancé, Seth, was the father. He is now her husband. Sources close to the pair said that they got married privately in Charlotte just a few days before they announced it on Instagram. Everyone says that the wedding was a quiet event with just close friends and relatives. Fans were even more interested in the wedding because it was kept secret from the cameras. This was especially true for a reality TV star whose life had often been filmed. People were quite interested in Seth Daryoushfar, the man who suddenly became famous. Seth, on the other hand, had mostly lived outside of the reality TV world. People who knew him said he was a down-to-earth, family-oriented businessman with connections to IT entrepreneurship who didn't care about fame. People who knew him said he valued loyalty, privacy, and stability, qualities that seemed to fit perfectly with Veronica's outgoing, outspoken personality. The chemistry in the picture was so real that it was evident that this wasn't just a publicity gimmick. They were really partners who had formed a bond away from the cameras. The timing of the announcement was almost like a movie. For years, Veronica was one of the franchise's most accessible characters. She talked about her heartache, how she changed her life, and how hard it was to raise her daughter Chloe as a single mom. Fans recognized her as tough, funny, and refreshingly honest, a woman who kept going no matter what life threw at her. That's why jumping into marriage and parenting so quickly felt like such a big deal. It wasn't simply another celebrity pregnancy announcement. It was the end of a journey that fans had been emotionally involved in for years. But Veronica did it her way. No leaks, no tabloids getting the scoop first, and no perfectly planned TLC spin-off surprise. One post, one caption, and the truth sent straight to her fans. That choice made her stand out in a world where every personal milestone is typically turned into a story or a way to make money. The aftermath has been a complete mess. Media sources covered the story non-stop, going over every detail they could find about Seth, the wedding, and Veronica's intentions for the future. Fans wondered if the pregnancy and marriage may eventually be shown on TLC, maybe in a special episode or spin-off. Veronica has been a big part of the brand for a long time, and her narrative still touches millions of people. But for now, she seems happy to keep the focus on her family where she wants it. After the image went viral, Veronica published a few quiet Instagram posts. These included recordings of people congratulating her, a short video of Seth cooking in their kitchen, and a sweet moment when Chloe hugged her mother's developing belly. It was a look into a warm home, far away from the drama of reality TV. Veronica's revelation isn't simply about a photo that went viral, a pregnancy, or even a covert wedding. It's about a woman who has gone through public heartbreak and criticism and come out the other side with love, stability, and hope for the future. People who used to want her to be happy are now witnessing her take on the happiest role of her life. Wife, soon-to-be mother again, and the author of her own story. What started out as just one picture yesterday has turned into a moment that will go down in history as one of the franchise's most surprising but heartwarming twists. Veronica Rodriguez has moved on, and the world is watching as she writes her next chapter. This time, she's not a reality TV star. She's a woman in love forming the family she's always wanted. Fans of 90 Day Fiancé and its many spin-offs were shocked by a news story that traveled quicker than any of the show's many fights or scandals. Veronica Rodriguez, a smart and charming woman who has been a fan favorite for a long time, uploaded one picture on Instagram that changed everything. In the picture, Veronica stood next to her fiancé, now husband Seth Daryoushfar, with her palm gently resting on her baby bump. New beginnings, new chapters, and the biggest blessing of all was the simple yet powerful caption. Two Hearts baby Daryoushfar is on the way. The internet went crazy with those words. The picture was shared hundreds of times on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook fan groups, and Instagram repost accounts in only a few minutes. Entertainment blogs started posting headlines, and thousands of people left comments on her feed. Not only was Veronica pregnant, but news outlets verified within hours that she had married Seth in secret just days before. People who had been following Veronica's tale for a long time were shocked by the news, which seemed like a big twist in a story they believed they understood. For anyone who just happened to be watching, it was a real moment of happiness in a world of reality TV that is typically full of controversies. And for Veronica, it was clearly a big deal that she wanted to express on her own terms and in her own way. The picture itself seemed simple, yet it had a lot of meaning. Veronica donned a cream-colored dress that flowed and showed off her developing pregnancy. Seth stood next to her, holding her hand and looking down at her with quiet pride. The background behind them was simple and natural, with greenery, soft light, and rustic appeal. No flashy effects or over-the-top production, just a private moment made public. But the closeness of it was what made it so strong. The picture didn't simply show a couple announcing a pregnancy. It showed a lady who had been through grief, criticism, and the relentless gaze of reality TV finally standing in her own happiness. It was a statement of love, stability, and being a mother. Fans replied in waves. The first shock rapidly turned into a party. "Well done, Veronica," wrote one follower. "You've always been my favorite on Pillow Talk, and now you get your happily ever after." Another person said, "This is the best plot twist ever. Pregnant and married?" Some people were still in shock and said, "Wait, didn't we just see her dating on The Single Life? How did this happen so quickly?" That mix of shock and happiness was just what many fans had felt while watching Veronica throughout the years. She was never the major character in a central 90 Day Fiancé season, but she became the kind of person who held the franchise together. She was more than simply Tim Malcolm's ex-girlfriend or Chloe's mom. She was Veronica, the lady who was funny, honest, and sassy. And suddenly, with just one Instagram post, she had changed her tale in a way that even her most devoted admirers didn't see coming. As news organizations rushed to cover the tragedy, further information came to light. Veronica and Seth had gotten married in Charlotte only a few days before. Insiders said the ceremony was private, with only close relatives and friends there. There were no paparazzi, no leaks, and no TLC cameras in the backdrop. It was just a quiet celebration of love. It was a move that said a lot for someone who has had her personal life under a microscope for years. People still had questions about the secrecy. When did Seth and Veronica get engaged? How long had they been making plans for the wedding? And maybe most importantly, how long had she been hiding her pregnancy? Those questions still don't have clear answers, but Veronica's choice to go public now makes it clear that she wants to include her followers, but only after she has gone through these events in private first. The next big question was quickly, who is Seth Daryoushfar? Fans rushed to find out more about the man who had not only captured Veronica's heart, but was also her husband and soon-to-be father of her kid. Seth is not like a lot of the people in the 90-Day Fiancé world who want to be famous. He is an entrepreneur from Charlotte with a background in technology, and he has lived a peaceful life away from the public eye. People who know him say he is devoted, family-oriented, and very quiet. It might have been the very difference that brought them together. According to one article, a source close to Veronica said, "Seth is her rock. He doesn't care about cameras or being famous. He only cares about her." That was precisely what she needed after what she had gone through. Veronica may have felt ready to take such big steps with him. Marriage, a new baby, and the merging of their lives into one family unit, because she felt stable. For supporters who have been with her since the beginning, this is a huge change. Years ago, people regarded her as the strong but often troubled ex who was trying to figure out her tangled relationship with Tim Malcolm. People often said she was quite independent, but yet wanted love that would stay. Later, on The Single Life, she went back to dating, sometimes with laughter and sometimes with heartache, but always honestly. Through it all, her daughter Chloe was her first priority and the reason behind every choice she made. Chloe is going to become a big sister, and Veronica is about to become a mother again, but this time from a different point of view. After the announcement, fans saw Chloe on Veronica's Instagram stories, where she hugged her mom's baby bump with delight. For a lot of people, that picture was just as powerful as the first one. It showed that this pregnancy isn't just about Veronica and Seth, it's about a whole family growing in love. It also felt like the date of the announcement was planned. Veronica made sure that her story went the way she wanted it to by waiting until after the wedding. First, she and Seth got married in privacy, and then they let the world to participate in the excitement of their pregnancy. It was the opposite of the usual reality TV formula, when drama builds up to a dramatic reveal that is meant to be seen on camera. Veronica, on the other hand, changed the story. At first, she kept her life to herself, but gradually she let the world in. Fans were not only surprised by this choice, they were also impressed. One fan posted online, "This is how you do it. No leaks, no fake drama, just love. She deserves this," said one person. "She's always been honest with us. This is why it feels so special. It's not a narrative, it's her life." The response from the media as a whole was similar. Media outlets that generally thrive on scandal, like covering nasty breakups or fights amongst cast members, were surprisingly respectful of Veronica's disclosure. Headlines called the news heartwarming, a beautiful surprise, and the new beginning fans didn't know they needed. Of course, many are still guessing about what will happen in the future. Will TLC show Veronica and Seth's story? Will there be a special show about the wedding or a baby update? The 90-Day Fiancé franchise has a history of converting real-life events into TV shows, such baby specials and reunion episodes. But Veronica hasn't said yet if she plans to introduce cameras into this part of her life. It is evident that she is in charge of the story in a way that not many reality stars can keep. Veronica kept her engagement, wedding, and pregnancy a secret until she was ready, so that her happiness wouldn't be affected by the attention that comes with fame. She may now share her delight with others, but only after she has had time to enjoy it alone. That choice makes this moment feel more like a win than a story. Veronica has been through the highs and lows of public life. People have praised, ridiculed, and judged her. But now she is not a caricature of reality TV. She is a lady who struggled for her happiness and found it. The Instagram post that set the internet on fire may have only been one picture. But the tale behind it goes back years of perseverance, reinvention, and optimism. It's not just about a baby or a marriage. It's about a woman choosing her path, accepting love, and moving forward with confidence. Fans are still sending her congrats on social media, and one thing is for sure, Veronica Rodriguez has the world's attention again. This time, though, it's not because of drama or a broken heart. Because she has found happiness, and by sharing it, she has reminded everyone that even in the crazy, unpredictable world of reality TV, real happiness can still be the biggest surprise of all. No one was ready for the flood of excitement and passion that came after Veronica Rodriguez uploaded a single picture on Instagram yesterday. The picture was basic, yet it was strong enough to take over fan pages, news sites, and entertainment headlines all around the world. Veronica stood next to her fiancé, now officially her husband, Seth Daryoushfar. She wore a delicate cream gown that showed off her baby belly. They held hands, and their faces were lit up with peaceful happiness. The caption said what the picture had previously said: "New beginnings, new chapters, and the biggest blessing of all. Two Hearts baby Daryoushfar is on the way." The picture became very popular in just a few minutes. For fans who had been following Veronica's 90-day fiancé story, this was more than simply another celebrity news story. It was a twist in the plot that no one saw coming. Not only was Veronica pregnant, but news outlets swiftly confirmed what many had guessed after seeing the ring on her finger. She had secretly married Seth just a few days earlier in a private ceremony that even the most devoted fan forums hadn't been able to find out about. The revelation seemed like the end of years of watching Veronica live her life on reality TV. As Tim Malcolm's feisty ex-girlfriend, she was known to fans as the quick-witted woman who delivered humor and frank honesty to every episode. She had been on spin-offs, talked about her dating situation on The Single Situation, and been a regular on Pillow Talk. She became known as someone who may be weak, but never lost her strength or sense of humor. Fans had cheered for her, worried for her, and laughed with her. And now they were celebrating the biggest event in her life thus far. People who commented on the post showed a mix of disbelief and genuine happiness. One follower said, "I really gasped when I saw this. Are you married and pregnant? This is the best news ever. Congratulations, Veronica." Another person said, "We've seen her struggles and now she's finally getting her fairy tale." The support came in right once and was amazing, turning her comment section into a public guest book of congratulations. But there was also a sense of shock underneath the happiness. Veronica was able to keep two big events in her life, her marriage and her pregnancy, completely private in a world where even minor information about reality stars are circulated and talked about on social media. Fans were amazed by how well she kept her private life private, especially in the 90-day fiancé community, where spoilers and rumors spread months before episodes air. Sources confirmed that the wedding was meant to be small. The ceremony took place in Charlotte and was only for Veronica's closest family and friends. There were no TV crews, no magazine exclusives, and no live streaming. There were just two people making promises in a location that was all theirs. It was an unusual choice for someone who had been on reality TV for a long time, but it made her announcement much more dramatic. The wedding had already happened by the time the public found out about it. Then there was Seth, the man who was suddenly in the spotlight. Fans didn't know anything about him until recently. He didn't show up on Veronica's social media very often, and when he did, it was never in a way that made it seem like he was getting married or having kids. Seth, a Charlotte-based businessman known for keeping his personal life quiet, appeared like the exact opposite of the typical reality TV star. Veronica had made a name for herself in front of cameras, but Seth had done it behind them. People who know him say he is down-to-earth, loyal, and not interested in celebrity. That balance, his steadiness and desire for privacy, seems to be just what Veronica needed right now. It was evident from the viral photo that they were together, and that this wasn't just a marketing gimmick or a meticulously planned announcement. The way he leaned into her and she rested her palm on his showed that they were close and trusted each other. For those who had long wanted Veronica to find someone who really cared about her, that moment felt like proof that she finally had. It hasn't been simple for Veronica to get to this point. Fans have seen her deal with heartbreak, the difficulties of being a single mother, and her strange but lasting connection with her ex, Tim. Her bond with her daughter Chloe has been a big part of her life. It has reminded her of the obligations she had to take care of while looking for love. Veronica has been honest about how hard it is to balance those jobs throughout the years. People liked her because she was honest, and they could relate to her problems. Chloe is getting ready to welcome a new sister, and Veronica is becoming a mother again, but this time she's married, supported, and clearly at peace. Veronica later posted a video on her Instagram stories that showed Chloe holding her mother's belly with delight. She had a huge, happy smile on her face. It was a close family occasion that made the announcement go viral seem even more real. The media frenzy that followed was non-stop. From People to E! Every major news outlet had headlines. What's new? Fans wondered if Veronica's wedding or pregnancy would be shown in a future TLC program. Some people talked about how long she and Seth had been keeping their relationship milestones a secret. But Veronica stayed calm through all the noise. She only shared a few simple stories. A supper Seth made for her, a friend's congratulations message that she shared again, and a close-up of her hand holding his, with their wedding bands clearly visible. In the world of 90 Day Fiancé, where drama and instability are the norm, Veronica's declaration was a nice change of pace. It wasn't a brawl, a scandal, or a nasty breakup that got a lot of attention. It was happiness. Real, peaceful happiness that she shared on her own terms. That could be why the picture got around so fast. Fans wanted a moment of joy in a franchise that is better known for fighting than celebrating, and Veronica gave it to them. Fans are still guessing what will happen next. But the truth is that Veronica might not be in a hurry to make this chapter into a TV show. She has proved that she can keep her milestones safe by living them out in solitude before letting the world in. It's not clear yet if she will publish more details about her wedding images, or if her pregnancy story will wind up in a TLC spin-off. But one thing is for sure, Veronica has taken charge of her own tale in a manner that few reality stars can. Her reveal wasn't meant to startle anyone, but it did stun fans. It wasn't about ratings or fake drama. It was about sharing happiness at the appropriate time and in the right way. That realness is what helps the story appeal to those outside of the traditional fandom groups. Veronica Rodriguez has never been just another cast member. She was the woman who said what others were too scared to say, who laughed through her anguish, who revealed the world her flaws, and who kept going anyway. That strength has now brought her the kind of happiness that admirers have been hoping she would find. With one picture and one caption, she reminded everyone that sometimes the most beautiful things are also the most surprising. It seems like her story is just starting anew. A new husband, a new baby, and a future that she is making for herself and her family. And this time, it seems like she has finally found the love and calm she has been looking for. This gossip is over. If you liked the video, then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.